And you're, you know, one of the maybe
those digital, but you still had switches.
But you're one of the few, if not only, people that can still do that. How did you?
I can't still do it. I probably could relearn it easily.
Okay, how did you get the idea to build McAfee?
Well, McAfee, well, shit, I've been in software engineering my entire life, and that was a good one. I don't know why. I'm not particularly hardworking, nor particularly smart. It just came easy to me. And this is in 1986 when the first virus came out. It was called the Pakistani brain.
That's the year I was born. You know, this is well before my time.
How about that? It was 33 years ago.
31 years, yeah.
All right.
Or
so, the Pakistani brain. Oh, right, it was 86. So, no one had heard of a computer virus. It was a brand new thing. They called it a virus because it could infect other computers, move from one to another. I go, what the fuck is this? Obviously, it fascinated me. It's in my area. I read the story. I contacted the person that had a copy. I got a copy, disassembled it. Which back then, it's merely a matter of, taking the code, all right, and looking at what's really happening. Okay, at the very bottom, how the code interacts with the machine. It's called machine language. Right? Yeah. So, did a disassembly and go, damn, this is trivial. Okay, why didn't I think of this? And then at the same time, I thought, okay, so now that this is here, what can be done? And instantly, I go, oh, this can be done.
Okay.
And I spent 2 days, wrote a program, threw it up on my bulletin board, which was back then all we had for the internet, a collection of thousands of bulletin boards around the country. I ran one of the largest in Silicon Valley. Anyway, put it up on the bulletin board and forgot it. 2 days later, over 1 million people had downloaded it.
Oh, wow.
Over 1 million people, and that was the beginning of the company.
In that time, that's huge.
Oh, fuck yes, that was big.
1 million people in the late 80s.
In the first 6 months, I didn't even have a company. I lived in a tiny house in Santa Clara. I had hired 4 people, all of whom were in the house, living in the house with me, working. We didn't have time to get to an office. In 6 months, I had made $30 million. And 6 months later, the game was over. I mean, I had won the AntiVirus market. So, just one of those fortunate things that happened.
The time and the place was right. It just kind of happened. You found an issue.
You have to take advantage. You have to pick up the opportunity and run with it.
It's just a great story. And then from there, has it almost been a blur for you since then?
I'm sorry?
Has it been a blur for you since then?
No, not at all.
Time
very clear, actually. Very clear. Every aspect, every step, every adventure.
I would ask, is the crypto market, does it remind you of that time period, of the early internet?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Okay, now, does it remind me? Yes and no. Because the early days of the internet were filled with people that were brilliant and whose only goal was to create something new, which they did, which we all used. The crypto market is a perversion of what happened back in the 80s when the internet came around. The perversion is this. It's filled with people wanting to do something creative to change the world, but no one's buying. Think about it, okay? Because what are ICOs? The most profoundly, read some of these white papers for fuck's sake, profoundly world-changing ideas. And instead of like in the late 80s where we grabbed them, ran with them, and built on them, we grabbed them, store them in a wallet, and sell them as soon as the price goes up. You understand that greed has perverted the state of innovation that exists in every human. There is the difference. And I'm glad you asked that question because finally, today, at this very moment, I myself now understand what that difference is because of the question. Thank you, my friend.
Good question. So I was thinking about a reason to maybe make the correlation. some of the people are just using the ICOs as currency.
Not some of the people, all the fucking
but yeah,
people.
basically, yeah,
Nobody is using, no one is using coins for the purpose in which they were intended. Fuck me, no.
Is it because it's such a competitive space?
No, it's because you can make so much fucking money. That's why. You can take an ICO, buy it, for 50 cents, and in 6 months it might be $50. So no one gives a shit about what the coin's all about. There's one. Is it a good idea? Perfect. Let's buy some. But no one's using it. Nobody. This is the tragedy. Every innovation has been reduced to an investment.
Yeah. So if there was one thing you
There's the tragedy here.
if there's one thing you could tell people to make sure these ideas are used for what they're meant to be, what would you say to them directly? And that would be my final question.
If I could tell you anything at all that would make you treat these coins like they were the valuable tools, new tools that could change your life, if I could say anything at all that would make you do that, I would say it. But unfortunately, we are greedy creatures as humans. And if we have the option of changing the world, or very quickly changing our own economic status, we will choose the latter. I have observed it in 100% of the cases. I am sorry to be so cynical this morning, but this is the truth that I am telling you. It's a sad truth.
But it is reality.
But it is reality. I'm sorry, people. I'm really sorry. I wish this was the beginning of the minute. And it started out this way. It did.
Yeah.
And it was only when people began to see, good God Almighty, in this changing of the world, the turning the power structure upside down, the giving of freedom to people. God, there's a lot of money to be had here. And everybody went for the money.
Yeah.
So you're not freeing yourself anymore. Cryptocurrency is not creating a new world order. It's merely changing that new world order so that you, the crypto users and crypto aficionados, will have the money and the power, which will still be in that cage.
It's true.